My beloved child, before you do anything else, before you click away, before you tell yourself this message is for someone else, I want you to stop. Just for a moment. Because what I am about to tell you could change the way you see your entire life. You have spent so much time focusing on what went wrong. The opportunities that disappeared. The people who left. The prayers that seemed unanswered. The plans that fell apart. The dreams that didn't happen the way you expected. And because those moments hurt, you began measuring your life by what you lost. But my child, what if you have been looking at the wrong evidence? What if the greatest proof of my presence in your life isn't what you lost, but what survived? Think about it. You survived heartbreak. You survived betrayal. You survived disappointment. You survived seasons that should have destroyed your faith. You survived nights when fear whispered that nothing would ever change. You survived moments when giving up seemed easier than continuing. Yet here you are. Still standing. Still listening. Still hoping. Still believing. That alone should tell you something. You are stronger than you think. And more importantly, you are not alone. You never were. My child, there were moments when you thought I was silent. Moments when you prayed and heard nothing. Moments when heaven felt distant. Moments when you wondered if I even saw what you were going through. But let me tell you something most people never understand. Silence is not absence. A teacher is often silent during a test. A builder is often unseen while laying a foundation. A farmer appears inactive while roots are growing underground. And I was never absent. I was working beneath the surface. Working in ways you couldn't recognize. Working in places you couldn't see. Working through situations you didn't understand. While you focused on what wasn't happening, I was preparing what was. My child, the reason so many people miss their breakthrough is because they quit during the preparation season. They become impatient. They become discouraged. They become distracted. And just before things begin changing, they walk away. Don't make that mistake. Because you are much closer than you realize. Closer than your emotions tell you. Closer than your circumstances suggest. Closer than your fears would like you to believe. I know you've heard that before. And maybe part of you wonders if it's really true. But look at your life. You are not who you were 1 year ago. You are not who you were during your darkest season. You are not who you were when this journey began. Something changed. Something grew. Something matured. Something healed. You may not see it every day. But it happened. And growth is proof that movement has been taking place. My beloved child, there is a reason the enemy keeps trying to make you look backward. Because he knows your future contains things that would terrify him. He wants you staring at old failures. Old mistakes. Old regrets. Old disappointments. Because as long as you live in yesterday, you cannot fully embrace tomorrow. That is why I need you to stop replaying the past. Stop reliving conversations that ended years ago. Stop reopening wounds I have been trying to heal. Stop giving your energy to seasons that are already over. The chapter ended. The lesson was learned. The season served its purpose. Now move forward. Not because the pain wasn't real. Not because the loss didn't matter. But because your future deserves more attention than your past. My child, there are blessings approaching your life that require a healthier version of you. A stronger version. A wiser version. A more confident version. A version that trusts me. That is why preparation has taken longer than expected. Because what I am bringing requires capacity. And capacity is built over time. Think about this. If I had given you everything you prayed for 5 years ago, would you have been ready? Would you have had the wisdom? The discipline? The maturity? The discernment? Probably not. That's why timing matters. Not because I enjoy making you wait, but because I love you enough to prepare you properly. My child, one day you will understand why certain doors never opened. One day you will understand why certain relationships ended. One day you will understand why some opportunities disappeared. One day you will understand why some plans failed. And when that day comes, you won't be angry. You won't be confused. You won't be disappointed. You will be grateful. Because you will finally see what I was protecting you from. You will finally see what I was preparing you for. You will finally understand why the delay was necessary. My beloved child, I need you to hear this carefully. You have spent too much time underestimating yourself. You keep focusing on your weaknesses, your flaws, your mistakes, your failures. Meanwhile, you ignore your resilience, your growth, your wisdom, your courage, your perseverance. You notice every reason you might fail, but overlook every reason you might succeed. That needs to change. Because I did not create you to live in constant self-doubt. I created you to walk in purpose, to walk in confidence, to walk in faith. Not arrogance. Faith. The confidence that comes from knowing who walks beside you. My child, you don't need to know everything about the future. You don't need every answer. You don't need every detail. You don't need a complete map. You only need enough faith for the next step. And when you take that step, I will reveal the next one. Then the next. Then the next. That is how I have always guided my people. One step at a time. One season at a time. One act of faith at a time. My beloved child, the story isn't ending where you thought it would. The disappointment isn't getting the final word. The fear isn't getting the final word. The rejection isn't getting the final word. The delay isn't getting the final word. I am. And what I say about your future matters more than what your circumstances say today. So stop preparing for defeat. Stop expecting disappointment. Stop assuming the worst. Lift your eyes. Lift your faith. Lift your expectations. Because I am still writing. Still working. Still preparing. Still opening doors. Still creating opportunities. Still arranging connections. Still positioning you for what comes next. And what comes next will make sense of everything that came before. One day you will look back and realize something incredible. The season you wanted to escape became the season that prepared you. The battle you wanted to avoid became the battle that strengthened you. The waiting you hated became the waiting that matured you. And the chapter you almost gave up in became the chapter that changed everything. So keep going, my child. Don't quit. Don't lose hope. Don't stop believing. Because your story isn't falling apart. It's coming together. If this message spoke directly to your heart today, type, Amen. God is still writing my story. Share this message with someone who feels discouraged, forgotten, or stuck in a difficult season. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you never miss another faith-building message. And remember, the chapter isn't over. The promise isn't canceled. The breakthrough isn't lost. And God isn't finished. Your greatest testimony may be closer than you think.